श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तः पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि, सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Hari Om, Namaskar. If we greet someone, someone else should greet back. Hari Om and Namaskar to everyone. Okay, we'll read the second verse. Brahmaivahamidam jagatcha sakalam Chinmatra vistaritam Sarvam chaitadha vidyaya trigunaya Ashesham maya kalpitam Itham yasya dridamati sukhatare Nitye pare nirmale Chandalostu satu dvijostu guruhu Ityesha Manisha mama. The first verse explains what? Brahma is in all. Chaitanya Atma is in all. Same Chaitanya Atma is in all, not different. And the second one says what? Chaitanya Atma is all. Okay, first was what? In all. And what is the second one is what? Is all. Meaning there is nothing other than Chaitanya Atma. But I see the world as different from Chaitanya Atma, then Kalpitam. Then it is only a imagined notion. How did you imagine it? Maya. Because of Maya you imagined it. So we like to think, there's something called a Miss Maya, and because of it, we are all trapped in what? Sansara. Because of what? Who is that Maya? Someone, somewhere, sitting somewhere. Is it true or not? Hum sab Maya ke jaal mein hai, Bhagwan. So we love to think like that. That Maya is some entity, and that too always Maya is Miss Maya only. Maya. And it is trapped us. It has what? Maya is nothing but what? Nayasya vidya manasotirikta manohi avidya bhavabandha hetaya. What? Other than the mind, there is nothing called Maya. Whose mind?
Nahyasya avidya. It says avidyaya. No? Maya is of the nature of ignorance. Because of that ignorance, which we call Maya, what happens? We imagine. So Maya has two powers. What are the two powers of Maya? Actually, three powers. What are the three powers of Maya? One is called Avarana Shakti. What is it? Avarana Shakti means what? It covers what is already there. Then the second power of Maya is what? It projects what is not there. And third power is Viveka Shakti. Vivek Shakti means makes us understand what is there. What? That is also Maya's this only power. Don't think Maya only does traps and all that. No. The one that helps us to get knowledge is also whose Shakti? Bolo. Maya Shakti only. Avarana Shakti is tamasic in nature, Vikshepa Shakti is rajasic in nature, and Viveka Shakti is sattvic in nature. Is it okay? Trigunaya, Bhagwan's Trigunatmik Maya only. It is what? Avidyaya. See, to understand this yesterday's, if you can do that exercise properly, now it is like a very, very great thing. What? What was this? I am the body. Just this much. And what happens? You can't experience that. Right? You have never experienced what? I am the body. Why you have not experienced I am the body? Because that's not the truth. You can't experience it because it's not, such an experience is not possible. Right? So what is the actual truth? That I am Satchitananda. That's the actual truth. Right? So that knowledge is as though covered. And now what is that projection? I am the body. It's a projection. It's just a notion. Kalpit. It's just a notion. From when did it start? When did you start having the notion I am the body? In this lifetime, from the time you had this. But the other lifetime also this notion was there or not? Yes. And again that. So avidya has no beginning. Ignorance has no beginning. This is another important thing. What? Ignorance has no beginning. Why do you say no beginning? Because we will say, okay, ignorance started at this time. So before that, what was there? If you say it was knowledge, then from knowledge, how will it get ignorance? You get it? And if we say it was ignorance, then that is no beginning at all. So avidya, ignorance has no beginning. So we just have it. That is why they always call it in Vedanta, we use the word anirvachaniya. For what reason? We don't know. That's why once you realize the truth, you say, how is it possible that I thought I was the body when I have never experienced it? You get this point or not? It has not been my experience. I have never experienced, then why am I still persisting on saying I am the body and doing everything with this notion? That is why it's called only a notion. The word notion is very good. Notion means what? It's just a thought. Isn't it? And it's a false notion. Why is it false? Because it's not your experience. It's not even your experience. Don't look at me like that, because it actually is not your experience. You understand? It's not that I am saying it's not your experience. It's your experience and it is not your experience. What? You look at me as though I am telling you, so you have to say that it is not my experience. Yesterday, that's why I made you do it. What? That's why I said, all of you try to experience, I am the body, I am the body. I told you, please experience. And you could not experience that, isn't it true? You always, what did you experience? That I know the body. That's the only experience you got. Yes or no? Again try. Because still you're not seem to be convinced that I am not the body. Get the point? You try to experience what? I am the body. Try to experience that. Okay, then only you'll realize, Arey, this never been my experience. This is what I want you to understand that. So you don't have to look at me to find this out. Are you with me?
Yes.
You experience now that you are not the body. That I have never experienced I am the body. I have only known the body. Knower is always different from the known. So why is this happening? Why still? Because avidya, not knowing I am this. You say. See, everyone knows I am. This much everyone knows, right? But what I am, we don't know. So partial knowledge all of us have. I am, that knowledge is there. But what am I? So what do? We project. This is the nature of Maya. When you don't know something, we project. In our day-to-day life, 100,000 times we have done that. We look at a person and he says, he is not a good person. How do you know? You know anything of the person? Nothing you know. And yet you say, I don't think he's a good man. I think he's a very good person. Is it true or not? And you yourself are proved wrong so many times. कितनी बार हमने खुद ने जो विचार किया वो सिद्ध हुआ कि वो गलत है. हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? बोलो. I thought he was like that, but he is not like that. Have you experienced this? Every one of you? About yourself also, so many things you thought, and it is not true. Agreed or not? I thought I had no anger, and then somehow anger came. And then you realize, Hare Rama, I have a lot of it. Agreed. Bolo. So many notions about ourselves we have. These are only what? Notions. They are all projected. On what basis did you do? Ignorance, not knowing what it is. You project something. Something or the other you project. Hare Rama, how many things people project in so many ways. Is it true or not? There are so many people who are living in complete delusion and illusions about themselves. The whole world knows what they are, but they say, no, I am not like that. Agreed. I am very spiritual. And everyone else thinks that person is what? Most materialistic. But what do they feel? I am very spiritual. I have no pride. This is the biggest pride. Have you understood this or not? What? I have no pride. But you ask that person, do they believe that or not? They will believe. I have no pride. I'm telling you, I have no pride. This is what? Please tell me. Projection. It's a projection of what? What is actual there and not seeing. It's projected. I am a very good person. Everyone thinks that or not. Bolo, bolo. And I always give the example of that our Kabir Das ji. What does he say? Bura jo dekha na me chala, bura nak miliya koi. When Kabir Das ji said, I tried to see if there's a good person, a bad person in the world, I could not find any bad person. But jo dil khoja apna, when I looked inside, mujhse bura na koi. I found no one worse than me. And for us, it is different. It's the opposite. अच्छा जो देखन में चला अच्छा न मिलिया कोई जो दिल खोजा आपना मुझसे अच्छा न कोई. Is it true or not? You think I am the best. I never lie. Arey Rama, that is a big lie. Understood or not? So these are what all? I'm talking the main projection is I am the body, I am the mind. That after that all these other projections come. These are all extra projections. First we have to get out all these extra projections. Then we come to the mool projection that I am the body. Have you got it? I am the body, I am the mind, all that. So it is what? Kalpitam. The whole thing is what? A big projection. I am giving this example instead of thinking the whole world is projected. It's difficult for us to understand. At least understand my world is my projection. At least this much you understand. My world of likes and dislikes. This is my, this is not my. All this is my projection or not. We've divided the world. This is my, this is not mine. This is yours. मैं और मोर तोरते माया. Tulsidas ji says what? मैं और मेरा, तू और तेरा वही माया है. And have we not divided the world into that? Please tell me. This is my. This is interesting, na? Do you believe that we all live in our own world? Absolutely, we live in that world only. The minute we see something now, our own projections start working. So we never see the world as it is, we only see as it is shown to us through a lot of filters. Okay, let me explain this. What is this? What is this color? Everyone? Orange, right? Now, you are also seeing it, right? All of you are seeing this? Are you seeing the same color? Yes or no? All of your eye power is different. Is it or is it not? You're sitting at different places, the light is coming at different angles, and therefore, what is color? Color is what? The light reflected now. So, will the what you see depend on the power of your eyes, the place where you are sitting, is it a fact or not? So, are you seeing the same color or what you are shown by your eyes? Are you getting this point or not? This is called, we are not even seeing the world as it is. We are only seeing as we, through our instrument and the limitations of our instrument. When we see blue sky, why do we see blue sky? The sky is not blue. Science also tells us we see the sky blue because of the limitation of our eyes. Is it a fact or not? Sky is not blue. There is no blue color anywhere in the sky. You keep on going again and again, far, far, far. Will you come to the blue color? Anywhere? Nowhere there is a blue color in the sky. But what happens? The limitations of the eyes show us what? Blue color. Have you got this? Hello. So the whole world we see, even this physical world, what we say, I am seeing, is only through then from the way you are, your upbringing, all these filters are there or not. This hall is big or small? It all depends. If you have come from a place where the halls are much, much bigger, then you'll say very small hall. Isn't it true? And if you come from a place where only small halls are there and all, you'll say what? Big hall. Is this hall big or small? It's not big, it's not small. It's what you see it as big or small. Small, ordinary things I'm telling you. It's only what you see. आपको जिस प्रकार से आपका मन और आपकी इंद्रियां आपको दिखाती है, आप वही देखते हैं. The mind shows you something and you see it that way. Right? All our concepts, I'm telling you everything. That I always, this fashion is wonderful thing. That's what I just love about it. The fashion, and our mind is so colored and we don't even know it is colored. We think we are independent thinkers. Have you all thought of that? Independent. That's nothing. We are brainwashed by the totality and the total mind. There was a time when girls used to wear lungis. That was the fashion. How many of you have experienced that? I was in college at that time. Schooler. So we used to wear lungis. Why? Because Hema Malini wore a lungi. Now you wear lungi and go out. What will everyone tell you? And that too lungi, all colorful lungis and all, like it was dull. And everyone thought it was very what? Fashionable. Now you look only and say, hey, kaisa dikhta hai. Now, that time we thought that same thing looked beautiful. You understand? Now you think what? Some of the things we wear now, if people saw some years back, what would they say? Please tell me. ये क्या पहन के रखा है पता है? Is it true or not? But initially we also say what? And then afterwards we also think it is very... Some people know wear the loose like a pant. Then they're all very this. They won't call loose pant because there's loose pant doesn't. So they'll say palazzo or palazzo. Then it becomes fashionable. If you say loose pant, it doesn't look fashionable, isn't it? What is it actually? It's a loose pant, nah. But loose pant, nahi. Palazzo. Oh, palazzo. Are you getting the point or not? Some years back, if you wore a loose pant, what will they say? What happened to you? Got it? Bolo. So, what is it? We say, I'm seeing as it, I'm beauty, I can understand. What understand? You're being brainwashed into seeing that. Your mind is projecting. Others' mind is making you project this. This is beautiful, this is good, this is right, this is wrong, this is nice, this is not nice. I don't like. All projection. And we live in that world and that world alone. Is it a fact or not? Once someone was sitting in my lecture, very interesting. In that same time, after the lecture is over, people come to meet me. So it was in a public place. So one person came and said, Swamiji, your English is so good. So what will I say? Thank you. Nothing else. What can I say? No, thank you. Another person came and says, you make so many grammatical mistakes in your same day. And that was some English teacher or something, so she was writing all my mistakes. Then she gave me a whole list of it and said, you this, you have to not say like that, you must say like that. Okay, so I took it and I said, thank you. What else can... See, you're understanding now. So my English is good or bad? It depends on... Everything, what we say is good is all relative. What we say bad is all relative. And relative to what? Whose mind? Mine. Ashesham maya kalpitam. That is the important thing. So if you understand that we don't see the world as it is, we see it as we want to see it. Or as it is shown to us by our mind. If that much is understood, don't you think that's a great knowledge? Are you seeing the same hand? Yes or no? Some people are seeing this part, some people are seeing this part. And then what will we do? We will argue. No. Supposing I've written over here 25 and here I've written 22. Then what is there on the hand? You'll say 22. One will say 25. Now they both will fight. In the world, do we do this or not? I am telling you, I saw 22. Then someone will say what? But I saw with my own eyes, as though you can see with someone else's eyes. We say this phrase in India, it's very common. With my own eyes, I saw. I heard with my own ears, as though you can hear with someone else's ears. I'm telling you, it is like that. I'm telling you, yes. And then other person also. In your homes, have you not seen the same thing, incident is there or something? One person says completely differently, some person says, isn't it? And each one thinks that alone is what? Right. And they feel very upset about the other person. What is, I'm telling you. That person also says what? I'm telling you. Now what to do? Bolo. Most fights in the home happen because of all this thing, na? Your point of view, but that is because you see it like that. But what we see, what we feel, what I see is right. And that's the only way to see it. And that alone is Param Satyam. Understood? Is it like that? Kalpitam. Moment to moment we are projecting. Kshan kshan. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? अशेषम मया कल्पितम. क्या क्या प्रोजेक्शन होते, एक एक से बढ़कर चढ़कर. और एक प्रोजेक्शन का है, दूसरा बैठा ही है. That is why our Shankaracharya ji told ahara garvat parityajyatam. Remove your pride every day. Meaning one pride gone, the second is still waiting only. I can understand, everything. Then one day what? I don't understand anything. Haven't you all felt that about yourself? Ki there is no one, at some time or the other, you definitely must have felt there is no one more foolish than me. Have you ever felt like that? I have felt. No one more foolish than me. And then sometimes you feel, coach, you're understanding. What is, so which one is the right one? That you're foolish or that you're whatever? Sometimes you feel, I think so much. And then you realize, Arey, you haven't even started thinking. So this all what? About ourselves, so much projection. About the world, so much projection. About everything and every, there's so much of what? Projection. Ashesham maya kalpitam. So when you see the truth, all kalpana ends. Agreed? That famous example. What is our famous example? Rope and snake. So when you see the rope as it is, then all projection of it being a snake or a hose pipe or a crack in the ground, all projections end. Why? Because you saw it as it is. We project something we like, we run towards it. We project something we don't like, we run away from it. Isn't it? This is all projection only. One day we will run towards the same thing, second day from that same object we run away. Have you noticed it? One day we say, I love you, and we go towards that person. One day you say, I hate you, and you run away. But this is very interesting. This example is again my favorite example. One man was running fast. Another man was running from the opposite side fast. Both of them were really running fast. They didn't really see each other and they dashed against each other. So they were upset like, hey, can't you see? Can't you see? Then they both realized both of them did not see. So they laughed. Kyare, both of us हमने देखा ही नहीं एक दूसरे से टकरा गए एकदम. So one of them asked the other, he's saying, where are you running? Why are you running so fast? Where are you going? He's saying, oh, I'm getting engaged. I'm going to my fiancé, my person whom I'm running, I'm going to her and all. I'm so happy and all that. So then that man asked the other man, where are you running? He's saying, I just got divorced and I'm running away. I'm so happy and all. So then they both started laughing also because they realized one. Then they started talking more and they realized that same girl, that one got divorced, that other one was same girl. So I like this story very much. So that girl is good or bad? One thing, you understand? That same thing. I mean, what is the thing? Actually, that girl is what the girl is, right? But one going towards, other going away. One thinking this is very good. Ashesham maya kalpitam. You're understanding, na? I love this type of example because they are so true in this world. Agreed. जगत में ऐसे ही सब होता है, दिखता है. We project so much कि ये है. This is very nice, very nice. You should see the person who's an addict, how he will look at the bottle of scotch or whatever drink they drink, hard drink. How they will look at it. You should see that glazed look in their eyes. Usme kuch hai kya? What that poor bottle can do. But he will feel, and then he will feel the bottle is calling me. Arey, bottle koi bulata hai kisi ko kya? You will literally feel कि bottle कहती है आ जाओ. Addict, na? Now what to do? He will think like that. So we lose our independence. We start thinking, nahi, usme sukh hai. We helplessly go towards it. Is it true or not? You ask addict how helpless the person becomes. Then there's no control. Then he says, no, bas, that is it. Ashesham, this is what kalpana. And then the force of habit. Having projected and again repeated, what happens? It becomes a force. And then after that, knowing that there is unhappiness only, that person is still helplessly going there. Is it true or not? Then that person starts hating the thing also, but still what? Going after it. Is it true or not? And this is all ashesham maya kalpitam. You have to remember this part very much. This is all what? Now, if you have done kalpana, what should you do? You projected. Who can withdraw the projection? You would withdraw the projection. जब हमने ही प्रोजेक्ट किया है, हमने ही कुछ, तो विड्रॉ करो। डोंट वेट भगवान माया निकालो। भगवान मैंने थोड़ी माया ये किया, आपने प्रोजेक्ट किया, आप निकालो। आपने कहा बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा है, यू वेंट आफ्टर इट। आई डिडंट से दैट, आई जस्ट मेड द वर्ल्ड, बस खत्म। नाउ यू से दिस वेरी ब्यूटीफुल, व्हाट कैन आई डू? ओके, बोलो। सुख अध्यास, उसको क्या कहते हैं? हम क्या अध्यास करते हैं? सुख का अध्यास। See, first we say Shobhana Adhyasa. Very nice. Once we say it's very nice, we want, all of us want happiness, na? Then till we project beauty, it is still okay. But we project happiness on an object, then what will happen? Khatam. Now I want it. Because we want happiness. Do we want happiness or we don't? Yes. So if it is beautiful, that's still okay. So many things beautiful, you see, oh, beautiful. You see a beautiful sunrise. Then what do you say? You don't say, I want it, I want it. You see it and go away. Nothing, no problem. Isn't it? But you say it's nice and then you project happiness. Then I want it, I want it, I want it. You go after it. Then you day and night work for it, right? So sukha, and that is also adhyasa. Sukha is also what? Adhyasa means projection. Ashesham maya kalpitam. This is what we have to understand this again and again. Where all we have done adhyasa. Itham yasya dhramati sukhatare. This one person who understands perfectly. And that this is projection on what? On my true nature, which is Satchidan Nitye Pare Nirmale. Now I want, let's reflect on the word Pare. Pare means beyond. One is supreme. Para means supreme. And the other meaning of the word Pare is beyond. Now I want you to understand the word beyond. Because many times we have seen Atma is beyond the mind. Have you heard these words before? Bolo. Pare hai. स्वामी जी ये वेदांत का ज्ञान मुझे परे है, मुझसे क्या है? इट्स व्हाट? बियॉन्ड मी, इट्स गोइंग अबव माय हेड. I want you to understand what is the meaning of beyond. Are you all willing to think? Yes? Let's pause and think. Now, what is this? Even for the 100th time, if I show this, you have to say, huh? Right? Now, my eyes are seeing the mic. So the eyes are seeing the mic, but the eyes are beyond the purview of the mic. Mic can never, ever know the eyes. It is beyond the eyes. Beyond the what? The mic, the eyes are beyond the mic. It can never know, right? Similarly, the mind is beyond the eyes. The eyes can never know. It's beyond the purview. However much the eyes try to see, the eyes can never see the mind. Are you understanding? Many times you say, oh, I can see your mind. Can you see the mind? No, I can see you are angry. We say no. So that means that you are seeing the mind. When you say, I can see that you are angry, what are you trying to say? Are you seeing the mind? Because anger is where? In the mind. And when you say, I can see that you are angry, are you seeing the mind? No, you're only seeing the facial expressions which make you assume that there is anger inside. Because angry facial expressions are there. So angry mind must be there. Have you understood that? But you are not seeing anger. Because anger is beyond the purview of the eyes and the senses. The mind can never know. The senses can never know the state of the mind. Very clear? It's beyond. You understood the meaning of the word beyond? Similarly, Atma is what? Beyond the mind. But all the time we are trying to know Atma through the mind. Agreed. Grasp what is Atma. So, but Swamiji, then how? You are only explaining so much. You are trying to put it in our mind only, no? No. How are we supposed to understand it in the mind? That it is beyond the mind. That is how you have to understand it. Got it? What? How are you supposed to know? In the mind, how are you supposed to know that it is beyond the mind? Can you explain this? नहीं अंदर नहीं गया. Okay, fine. It's not supposed to go under. Pole vaulting, my favorite example again. You know pole vault, no? In the Olympics, they will have a pole. That's the only time we see it. Otherwise, you don't see pole vaulting here and there. So that's why I'm giving that example. In the Olympics, you will see this pole. Do you like it? I think it's a very, very nice. It's a very, what do you call it? Appealing to the eyes also. Amazing, no? So they run with a pole. And then they run very fast. And then they fix the pole. Then they take the support of the pole and then they go backward. That movement is amazing. They hold and swing with the back they go and they fall the other side. Have you seen that? At one point they have to leave the pole. They don't carry the pole with them. If they carry the pole, it will be a problem. So what do? And that pole also is an amazing pole. That pole is what? It is long, it is pointed, it is strong, and it is flexible. Isn't it? It's not stands like that. It bends. Have you seen the way it bends? It bends very. But it's, see, that person is a strong person also. So it has to be, the pole has to be strong. If it is not strong and it breaks, you understand? So what does the person do? Runs with the pole, fixes the pole, takes the support of the pole, and goes beyond the pole. What are you supposed to do? Mind. What type of a mind? Shuddha, Ekagra, Sukshma. This mind, you take it. Taka, taka, taka. That's why the pole has to be very, pointed. In single pointed, Ekagra. And Sukshma, strong, this, that, everything. Such a pole, you carry, you fix. And then you have to go beyond the mind. Okay. Do you need the mind to go beyond the mind? Yes. Do you need the mind? Yes. To know what? That Atma is? Atma is beyond the mind. Kya baat hai na? Now you understand the importance of that Bahiranga sadhana and all of that, making that mind ready and all of that. Yes? Any type of a pole you carry, what will happen? Will you be able to go beyond the mind? Where you will be? This side only you will be. No question of going that side. This side only. Most of the time, what happens to us? When we sit now, we only remain with the mind, with all of our, forget all raga, dvesha, this, that, only we remain. No question of going, what? Beyond. So here it is said, Brahma eva idam jagatcha sakalam. So that is, first we make the distinction of aham and idam. Then we say aham atma. Then we say idam also is nothing but projection of atma only. Because there is only one thing, whatever is there is only that. But appears as though different, but actually the same. You understand? It's only a appearance. Appearance cannot be counted as a second thing. Can you count second thing? It is like that. There is a rope and there is a snake. So there are two things. What? Rope and snake. Are there two things? Yes or no? Yes, no. There is only rope. The snake is only a appearance. So can it be counted as a second? No. It's only a appearance. Got it? So there is only Brahma. And what are we saying? Brahma and Jagat, two entities as though. Got it? I gave the example now, mud pot. Is there a mud separate, a pot separate from the mud? No, it's only mud. And then there is names and forms with qualities and all that. Very clear? Now, there's a question, what is the status of Atma after moksha? You tell me. You only tell me. Yeah, what is Atma? There are two. So there's a pot and then there is a space. So what happens? Pot, space merges into main space. Like that or what? There are how many spaces are there? So what happens to space? What happens to space? Whether it's a pot, no pot, anything, what happens to space? Nothing happens. Can anything happen to space? No. 5 pots come, 20 pots break. When the pot is there, when pot no is there, nothing. Space is space. So what happens to Atma after moksha? Atma is Atma. So where did the moksha and bandhan happen? You got it? Bandhan is where? Moksha is where? What happened to Atma? Nothing. Before before bandhan, before moksha, Atma was like that. After moksha, Atma is like that. Very clear? Yes or no? Our problem is the word Atma. 100,000 times, even though we say, we think the Jivatma is Atma. Big problem is only that. The Jivatma, the individual soul, na, we call that Atma. Isliye we say Atma went, Atma came, Atma inside, Atma outside, Atma. This all funny things we say. Uski Atma chali gayi. What chali gayi? Atma can space go anywhere? Bolo na. Space wanted to go for a walk. Where will it go? Space wants to go for a walk. Where will it go? Where will it go? It can't go anywhere. Why? It is all pervasive. So what will happen to Atma? Will Atma go anywhere? Can Atma come from anywhere? You get the point? We always talk of that conditioned jiva only as Atma. That's a problem. And that's why all this language, it's all got gadbad and all from years together we are thinking of Atma as something inside the body, some small little something. That's why this first verse explained what? That Atma is what? In me, in you, one. And it's not in me, in you, it is all. Then that also. First we say there are pots. So what is there? Space is in this pot. Imagine this is a pot, this is a pot, this pot. So where is space? In this pot, in this pot, in this pot. Then afterwards what is said? Space is even where the pot is, actually what is there? Space is there. Right or wrong? Is the space there where the pot is there or not? Yes. Did you get this point? Not did you get it? No, there's only question mark on the face. Physical gods are also manifestation of Brahma. And it is said Brahma is the power of Maya becomes God. Now when you say gods, physical gods, what do you mean by gods? How many gods are there? Please tell me. How many gods are there? Many gods or one God? Huh? These are different. They're all made up of what? So how many gods are there? Are you understanding? One God, many forms. You got the point. One Brahman, many forms. Right? So one only Brahman. Now what happens now? This concept of Ishvara also is not understood. We think some Ishvara is some second-rate fellow who became, Maya came to him, he became Ishvara. As though Maya... No. Ishvara is the totality of everything. Okay. Now, poet and poetry, can they be separated? Bolo. The minute you see poet, what is there? Poetry is part of it or not? Yes. Ishvara, the word Ishvara itself means what? The one with Maya. Are you getting the point? It's like poet and poetry. So it's not he became poor, became with this Maya trapped Ishvara, Brahman into becoming Ishvara. Not like that. Yeah. The totality of everything we call Ishvara. The ocean and the waves. Okay, now take this example, you'll understand. There's an ocean, there's waves. So each wave is like a jiva. Ocean is all waves and all of that, right? But both the individual wave and the whole ocean is nothing but water alone. Have you understood? Similarly, so when you're touching the wave, what are you touching? Water. When you're touching the ocean, what are you touching? Water. Right? So water is like Brahman, ocean is like Ishvara, wave is like Jivatma. Okay? So when you're touching here, what are you touching? You're teaching Jivatma, you're touching what? Water. You're touching Brahman, Atma. It's like when you're touching the pot, what are you touching? Mud. So when you're touching here, what are you touching? Brahman. Okay. You're touching this, what are you touching? Brahman. 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 And the totality of everything is also what? Brahman. Got it? Did it answer your question? See, these are all many, many concepts which we need to understand. What is Jivatma and all. I think that's another big thing, Jivatma and Atma. This distinction between the two we'll have to understand. Are you clear or this? With the question mark, you're nodding your head. So this is even more confusing. The face has all question mark and then you're still nodding your head. So I don't understand whether you really know or not. The one who is nodding the head is called Jivatma. Did you understand that part? हाँ कौन बोल रहा है? जो हाँ बोल रहा है वो जीवात्मा है. कौन हाँ बोल रहा है? Who is saying yes? जो यहाँ बैठा है. Isn't it true? Meaning what? I as this entity is called Jivatma. Okay. This entity is got to this. Now there is a electricity in it, na? So that is as though like a Paramatma. I'm not saying this is Paramatma, this is an example. Don't think. Right? So I as this, the I identified with a small thing is called Jivatma. Got? When the I is identified with the totality, it's called Ishvara. When the I not identified with the individuality or totality is called Brahman or Atma. Example, ocean. Water identified with a small form is called wave. Mr. Jivatma wave. Got it? Then, water identified with the whole ocean is called what? Ishvara. Ocean. That ocean and Ishvara. And that when you don't identify with the individuality and the totality, that concept of individuality, totality goes away. Only as water, it is what? Atma, Paramatma, Brahman, whatever name you want to give. Understood? So that, in that, what is there? Everything, name, forms and all is projected. Waves and all, we say, oh, this is wave, this is foam, this is tsunami, big wave, this is bubble, this, don't we say? What is bubble also? Water. Tsunami is what? Bolo. Water. Breaker is what? Water. Foam is what? Water. Got it? Who is trying to understand this knowledge? I, which I? Jivatma. Who is nodding their head? Who is understanding? Who is not understanding? What is Atma doing all the time when the Jivatma is nodding the head? What is Atma doing? Jagat Sakshini. Sakshi. What? Arey, Atma, do something, na? Arey, my dear Atma says, my dear Jivatma, I am giving you existence, Re. It is because of my existence you are existing. It's like water telling the wave, my dear wave, I am giving you existence. If I did not give you existence, you would not what? Exist. Got it? So right now, what is Atma doing? What is Atma doing? Giving existence to who? Don't say Jivatma, me, this one, sitting here, you, sitting there, nodding, that one. Got it? Don't think theoretically like that. Right now only, what is Atma doing here? What? Giving existence to what? Everything, everything. Others will say, what is the role of Atma right now? What is Atma doing now? He went to sleep or what, Atma? Whole day I am working and that Atma just keeps watching me. What type of Atma is this? And I am suffering. Don't we say, I am suffering so much. Bhagwan, what are you doing? आपका दिल पिघलता नहीं है? Don't you have a heart? What will Bhagwan say? What will the ocean say when the wave is crying? Re, my dear, you are nothing but me. You are thinking you are separate from me and crying. Understand? आपको ये अच्छा नहीं लगता है ऐसे भगवान? You don't like this Bhagwan or what? Who's there with you 24/7 all the time, so intimate and close. How close is God to you? 1 inch, 2 inches? Huh? How close is God to you? 5 feet? 3 feet? 1 centimeter? 1 millimeter? How close? Tell me, na? He is my own self. There is no distance. You got this point or not? Everything else can be. That is why Bhagwan, when Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa asked Vivekananda, do you see God? No, Vivekananda asked Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, have you seen God? He says, I see God more clearly than I see you. Why? Because first I see, then you come, na, you are still far away. I have to use my eyes and my brain to see you. But eye is what? How close is eye to eye? Bolo. That close. Nothing else is closer. ठीक है? Is it too much? Bolo. Ashesham maya kalpitam. Okay, Swamiji, can you just little bit more, can you tell us about this? How do we understand this whole mithya and all that? Very difficult. All kalpitam. It doesn't seem like kalpana, it seems very real. Can you give us some practical way to what? Get to this truth? Yes. When will you tell us? Tomorrow. Now what will you do? Now you take up one point from whatever I've said. So many things we have said now. Sense it with it. Easy thing is to what all things you have projected. Can you start with that? All the things which you call my. Let's start with that. How many things we have projected, na? Think about it. Try to see a thing as it is with minimum projection. Or, or understand these are projections. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.